Race teams, welcome and thank you for joining us here at South Boston Speedway. Please reference today's event schedule and be in your car ready to participate by the time the division preceding you is finished. For divisions that qualify, please keep in mind that you qualify in group qualifying sessions. Groups are based off practice speeds grouped slowest to the fastest. You receive the green flag the first time by the start-finish line, and all laps count. There are 5 total laps, and the end of the session is noted by the checkered flag. If a caution is displayed during your group, return to where you started on pit road. All cars in the group will be given a chance to re-qualify after the session's last group has finished or after 5 minutes, whichever is greater. Spotters are required at all times. The spotter's location is the top 2 rows of the front stretch grandstands in the area marked with pennant rope. All starts and restarts are double file. For initial starts, the pole sitter only has lane choice. The flagman starts the race and the first position must cross the start-finish line first. All cars must stay in line and not pass before crossing the start-finish line. Restarts are double file via the choose rule. All cars should choose inside or outside at the orange V painted on the front stretch racing surface just before the start-finish line. Blatantly driving over the orange V or impeding another competitor's choose process will result in a penalty. You will restart in the tail of the field for that restart. Cars under penalty involved in the caution incident or cars who pit cannot choose during the caution period. Race control will announce the choose lap. The restart zone is noted by red marks on the outside and inside walls. The zone starts at the double red marks and ends at the single red marks. The leaders should restart in this zone. If the leader fails to restart the race, the flagman will restart it. On restarts, the leader does not have to be the first one across the start-finish line, but all cars must stay in line until they have crossed the start-finish line before fanning out. For this race, if you are deemed as jumping a restart, you will be black flagged and must perform a pass-through on the front stretch pit road by entering in turn 4 and exiting in turn 1. This procedure is only for when performing a pass-through penalty under green flag conditions. Race control will put cars in the following order under caution. Lead lap cars who remain on the track, followed by lead lap cars who pit or are involved in an incident, then lap cars in order of running, then lap down cars who pit or involved in an incident, then the free pass car, then the penalty cars, and finally cars coming off pit road after the 1 to go signal has been given. If you are involved in an incident, remain in your car with belts buckled and helmet on until the safety team arrives. If you are able, let your window net down. Remember, team members are not permitted on the racing surface at any time. When under caution, remain single file behind the caution car. Do not pass the caution car unless told to do so by race control. Do not pull up to pit. The free pass car will be announced by race control and will pass the field and caution car to the outside when instructed. If you are around track officials, safety personnel, or equipment on the racetrack, give them plenty of room to work and stay slow around them. Emergency equipment will be dispatched from the middle of turns 1 and 2, the top of turn 2, and the middle of turns 3 and 4. If you see this equipment moving, give them access to the racing surface. Pit road is continuous here. You enter pit road off turn 2 and exit pit road off of turn 1. Do not enter pit road in turn 4 unless it is an emergency. When on pit road, stay slow and against the outside wall unless entering or exiting your pit stall. If, in the closing laps, there is a caution before the white flag, there can be up to 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish. Once the leader receives the white flag or all 3 attempts are exhausted, the race is over and will conclude under caution. Today's race is broken into stages. Stage 1 is at lap 50 and will feature a controlled caution in which caution laps do not count. You can pit for approved adjustments and will go to the rear of your lap status, whether that be lead lap or laps down. Stage 2 is at lap 100 and is also the halfway break. At lap 100, there will be a controlled caution in which caution laps do not count. All cars will follow the caution car down pit road and stop on the front stretch. All cars will stop single file on the front pit road, not in your pit stall. You do not lose positions under caution unless you incur a penalty. Stage 3 is at lap 150 and will feature a controlled caution in which caution laps do not count. You can pit for approved adjustments and will go to the rear of your lap status, whether that be lead lap or laps down. The race concludes at lap 200. Overtime rules are in effect. Caution laps count at all times except for stage breaks and the final 10 laps of the race. We thank you for racing at South Boston Speedway and good luck in today's race.